John's one and only King Cal 516 live in the mix, and this is the Switch Flames podcast. Man, oh man, the Greek Freak last night was a man amongst boys. He was a killer on the court. We're going to dive into what Giannis did last night to the Lakers. Final score, Milwaukee Bucks defeat the Los Angeles Lakers 109-102. I mean, the score was a lot closer to me than it really was. Lakers made a nice little run in the third quarter to try to come back. Probably one of the best third quarters the Lakers have played this whole season because they've been struggling in third quarter. They were able to get the game within a bucket leading into the fourth, and then Greek Freak and the Bucks just did what they had to do to make sure they put the game away. Giannis was unstoppable. We're going to dive into that, but if you would have told me right now, at this point in the season, would the Lakers and Milwaukee Bucks be underachieving, would both teams be underachieving at this moment, I would probably sit there and think, well, the Lakers possibly, but no, Milwaukee, I think they're going to be dominating. But injuries have kind of been the story of both teams, especially Milwaukee Bucks. They had a plethora of injuries. They're starting to get their guys back. Still have a few guys missing. But I think this is around the time we're going to start to see Milwaukee start to make a run. You know, especially with Jrue Holiday now back in the fold. You know, Bobby Porter's who they have starting at the moment at center instead of, with Brook Lopez being out. I do believe now they got some of those main cogs back. You're going to start to see Milwaukee make a run. The Lakers, who are missing LeBron James, and he's scheduled to return this Friday against the Celtics. They also have dealt with a bunch of injuries. Recently, Taylor Horton-Tucker has come back, and I'm going to say the one bright spot for the Lakers in this game was Taylor Horton-Tucker. And he's played 3 games, and all 3 games, Taylor Horton-Tucker looked like he is better than he was last season. So if you want to take anything positive, if you're the Lakers, is that Taylor Horton-Tucker looks like he's definitely stepped up his game, which is going to be crucial for the Lakers, moving forward. But needless to say, Giannis Antetokounmpo, I don't understand it. I've said it before. I don't know why Giannis doesn't get more props from mainstream media. But Giannis Antetokounmpo, to me, is still, right now, the reigning Finals MVP. To me, right now, Giannis Antetokounmpo is the best player in the world. I'm not saying he's the MVP this season because my belief as of right now, I'll give it to Steph Curry. But I'm saying I'm looking at Giannis still as the king of the hill till somebody knocks off the Bucks for winning the championship next season. I'm still looking at Giannis as the king of the hill. And this was a marquee matchup, AD versus Giannis. Because if you ask me today, I mean, these guys are even close in age. AD is probably about 2 years older than Giannis, right? But even if we were exactly the same age, if AD was 26, Giannis was 26, let's just say they were both the same age, and you could start your team with one of those guys today, who would you pick first? Every single time I'll tell you Giannis, even though I would admittedly tell you I believe AD is a more skilled player. But Giannis got something that AD doesn't have enough of, and that's motor. AD, to me, there's nights you don't see AD show up, and tonight was a great indication of that. Right? There's some nights it just doesn't look like AD shows up. It just doesn't look like he's interested. It just doesn't look like he's motivated in some games. And there's other games you see the reason why AD is considered a top 5 talent. But AD for years now has been considered a top 5 talent, but a lot of people don't say he's a top 5 player. I thought AD hit a breaking point in his career a couple seasons ago in the bubble when the Lakers won a championship because, you got a consistent AD that was hitting them in the head. He was dropping buckets all over the court. But since the bubble, we haven't really seen that AD consistently anymore. So it's just interesting to see how last night, a marquee matchup, you got Giannis, you got AD, and let's just tell you what Giannis did. Let's go with the big man amongst boys last night, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis dropped 47 points upon the head top of the Los Angeles Lakers. He had 9 rebounds, 3 assists in 36 minutes. Let's go to Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis had 18 points. Right? 9 rebounds, 4 assists in 37 minutes. So they played about the same. The rebounds and assists are about the same, but the points was definitely big difference. And that's a big difference in the game because last night the Bucks needed every single point that Giannis was able to get them. And it just got to the point Giannis was just using his sheer strength. And this is what I like about Giannis. Giannis has come to the conclusion of understanding his strengths and weaknesses, and he will exploit his strengths, and he doesn't care. And he's confident enough now to play as if you won't be able to stop him. And to me, that's the difference in him than a few seasons ago when we were seeing him get knocked off in the playoffs. Giannis understands what his game is, and Giannis has no fear, and he has a motor like no other. This is a determined young man that wants to get the job done. All right? And so right now, if you're the Los Angeles Lakers, you got a lot of work to do. Milwaukee Bucks, you have a lot of work to do as well, because Milwaukee's 7-8. You know what I'm saying? They were 6-8 going into this game, so now they're 7-8. But like I said, now that they're getting some of these guys healthy, I do believe Jrue Holiday now being back is going to be a big lift. You know what I'm saying? I think the Milwaukee's going to start doing a run, and we're going to see the Milwaukee Bucks we thought we were going to see in the beginning of the season. Los Angeles Lakers fall to 500. They're now 8-8. And so we'll see how these teams go ahead moving forward. Los Angeles Lakers, to me, have more concerns that they have to work through, trying to make this thing work with Russell Westbrook and company. But we'll see what happens. Let me know in the comments what you think of this game. What do you think about Giannis giving a 47-piece upon the head top of the Los Angeles Lakers? Let me know in the comments. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Appreciate you guys for supporting the podcast. Definitely hit the notification tab to stay up to date with everything Switch Flames Podcast. With that said, it's your boy King Cow 516 signing off, y'all.